What's going on, Abigail?
I don't know, Arden. What is that music? Or
That
is it music?
I'm giving it play because it just reminds me of Trump going in and just starting to shoot people because he's just a cowboy. He's awesome. Anyway, that was the soundtrack from the trilogy, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly series. I don't know if you're a Clint Eastwood fan or not, but
I am, but not the westerns.
oh, those three aren't just westerns. They're three of the greatest masterpieces of movie cinema.
Wow.
I mean, they are amazing. I mean, it's just there's three of them. It's basically one big movie, and there's one guy. He's the good Eastwood, the bad, and then there's the guy who's ugly, and how they get all entangled about the Civil War and everything else, and yeah. Anyway, and they're just trying to find the gold. That's it. Anyway, but great movies. Each one is like 3 hours long too. So, Abigail, we might be doing like a dual hosting event right now.
I think so.
So welcome to We Are a Crotchety Old Man,
And a woman.
the podcast for you, with you, and sometimes even about you. And that was actually we have one listener just wants to remain nameless that actually wanted to hear that song again. So there it is. I'm keeping their name silent. So that was for them. We got a lot of stuff wanted to cover before we get into the podcast. Had a little slowdown in our international listings last week. So we lost a few listeners, so hopefully they jump back with us again. We did not hit the Asian market, but we still had a few people in Europe and one in Ukraine. In Ukraine. So that was interesting. Lots of France, Germany, England again, but the Ukraine was new. Let's see.
Well, Zelensky was part of our podcast last week.
That is true. And maybe Zelensky listened while he was at the White House.
Begging for mercy.
Begging for money and mercy and everything else. But yes, so what else I wanted to go over is we want to grow even more. So we need people. If you like the show, talk to other people. Let them listen. Like great example, Alfred is demanding that Daniel listen to the show, and will play it in his car, and he will go out and listen to it in public. Things along those lines. Do that if you like it. Share it. We also wanted to let people know that our 100th anniversary is coming up, and we're looking for ideas. So feel free to send us some ideas. One of the ideas is that we actually were thinking about doing some of the old things we used to do in the original podcast. And one was like an eating challenge. That could be fun. We are going to have some guests who've been on the show before. They're going to be joining us, and it should be kind of fun.
Please tell me you're not going to sing.
Wow. Of course I'm going to sing. I mean, that's like a priority. Oh, you should sing.
No.
Yes.
It's never going to happen.
Oh, come on.
Ever.
So let's just jump right in. I mean, okay. How many people of our listening audience watch the speech? Or do we want to go to? I'm just so excited about talking about that. I actually forgot about our useless fact. So, useless fact. Abigail, did you play any Nintendo games at all?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you know who the Mario brothers are.
Yes.
Okay, here's your question, and I'll give you the fact that most nerds know. What was Mario first seen in what game?
Donkey Kong.
Nice! I knew you would know that. Yes, so way back there was Mario and Donkey Kong. Little did Jay know that they stopped making the Donkey Kong games, and Mario went on to having all of his games with Mario Brothers.
Donkey Kong was it when we were kids. Come on now.
I was never a big fan of Donkey Kong, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I was playing all the weird games like Tempest and
I did Pac-Man.
Pac-Man
Mrs.
classic.
Pac-Man.
Yep.
Yeah, Donkey Kong was up there.
Donkey Kong was fun. It was fun. I was playing Defender, and there was a game called Gorf. That was my game. It had like 5 games in one that you had to do. So now we'll go into the thing, because I apologize for that useless fact.
Let me take over. We're going to talk about Trump's magnificent, spectacular speech to the joint session of Congress,
and I'm a
but
little
I
too
don't know
hyped.
that we call it joint at all.
It was like they smoked the joint before they came in.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. A joint reference. A marijuana.
So, what'd you think of the speech, Arden?
I thought, you know what? It was fun. If you were a Republican, it was fun. If you were a Democrat, you hated it, but I think you hate yourselves for hating it.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think there was a lot of you must do what we say kind of stuff going on
Well,
there.
all I know is I was very embarrassed about January 6th being a Republican and watching what happened. But if you were a Democrat last Tuesday night, I just don't see how you can show your face.
Well, I think a lot of Democrats, notice I'm saying Democrats, not liberals, Democrats are ashamed of what happened.
Mm.
I think a lot of liberals who control the party, they're the ones who control. Like, I think there was maybe an internal memo that went out. Like, you are not allowed because you, in most in most speeches to both parties of Congress, no matter what, there was always some times where everyone would give a standing ovation. Like, I remember they would actually count how many standing ovations the president was getting.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do it this time because the Democrats, not one time. I think there was only like a couple times where like individuals would get up, but that was it. It was an embarrassment for them.
It really was. And what did you think of their little paddles? Did they think it was pickleball?
Well, pickleball or an auction, but
An
worse,
auction,
but
yeah.
worse, like they should have had the same paddle. Maybe they should have practiced. Like they all have the same, like the he lies or something like. They all should have had the same one at the same time.
Yeah.
They were all over the place, and it was so dumb.
Or they were, looking at their phones, acting like children. Even Elizabeth Warren,
Right.
an older woman that's a senator of the United States, just plays on her phone. Why even go?
While she was called Pocahontas, she was on
Yes,
the phone.
that was classic.
That, I mean, like,
He held nothing back.
I'm surprised they didn't want censure of him for saying that, for directly insulting her.
Well, it all began with that crazy congressman. What was his name? Green?
Al Green.
Yeah.
And
Al Green.
Now, Al Green is always a whack job to begin with. Okay, he always has been.
Mm-hmm.
But he's getting worse. I mean,
all I know is I felt that the Secret Service should have pounced on him when he was waving that cane at Trump. That can be construed as a
threat,
a weapon.
Yeah, and a threat to the guy,
and a threat to the president of the United States. That's what they should have done. They should have pounced on him.
I thought when they called for the sergeant of arms, something we've never seen. Now, there have been disruptions in the past, like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, where there actually were people that had cane fights on the floor. And which eventually some of those actually led to people killing each other or having duels. But now, this was just crazy. I thought the sergeant of arms was actually going to be a hit by him. But then he's now worshipped. So after he got censured a couple days later, like they were singing on the floor with him and everything. I mean, come on. We're getting worse and worse, at the division.
Yes, we are. But he had his special guests or special people in the gallery,
which is normal.
And that went from the lady that had a daughter that was being influenced about her identity at school.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Yeah, the parents didn't know.
The parents didn't know.
Yeah, the parents didn't know.
And then there was Laken Riley's family.
Yep, who had now the Laken Riley Act named after them,
right?
Which is very important.
And the young girl killed by the illegal immigrant.
Yeah, illegal aliens, please.
Sorry, illegal alien.
Thank you.
Whoa, what's wrong with me?
Yes, and she actually they named a sanctuary preserve after her.
Correct.
And the Democrats wouldn't even get up for that. I mean, I thought they believed in like clean air, clean
and
water, parks and natural beauty.
Right.
But so they named a sanctuary after her. Nothing.
And then the volleyball girl.
Yes.
Who basically has brain damage because she was in a volleyball game with a man.
who spiked a ball directly into her face,
Yep. And
just shattering her face.
how about the hostage from Russia?
Oh, just it's
I
amazing what
mean,
we've
him
seen.
and his mom,
Yep,
and how Trump told his mom at the Butler rally
yep, that he would get
that
her
he
out.
would get him out,
Yep,
not her, him.
him. I'm sorry, him. You know what I
I
was
mean,
thinking
but
about? The other one that the other her, him, they that Joe Biden did get out, who
oh,
played for the WNBA,
yes,
and only got out because of who she was.
yeah. Let's face it, though, Trump gets it done. He tells this woman he is going to get her son out from Russia, and this is months before the election. He stood firm and got it done. With all the other things he's taken care of, he got that man out.
Yeah, which is, I mean, and then there was the big two.
Yes, the West Point
Yep,
recruit.
he was like the fifth generation, and later on I did learn that was not scripted. That he did not know, and the mother's reaction was like, "Wow." And he was stunned, and then little JD giving him a high five after. JD is
JD or DJ?
DJ, excuse me.
DJ.
I'm thinking of JD Vance.
Well,
I'm so far in advance.
DJ took the show, didn't he?
That kid was awesome.
And then all the Republicans started chanting DJ, 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 and then USA, USA. It was fantastic.
And the Democrats hated it. They hate DJ. They hate a 13-year-old boy who survived cancer. And you know why they hate him?
Why?
The color of his skin.
Whoa.
I'm saying if he was a white kid, they would be like, who cares?
Mm.
But his father was a good man. This kid is freaking awesome. And he was shown love. And the reason I'm saying this, I actually watched an interview, and there was a Democrat on the air, and he actually said he is disgraced by how the Democrats and how and he himself being an African American or a black man, as he actually said, he thought it was absolutely disgraceful that this poor kid later on, like when he was outside, like all these black people were screaming at him, adults screaming at him, yelling at him, and he's just like he's a kid. He really is.
Well, did you hear what Nicole Wallace said to him? Do you know who Nicole Wallace is?
I do know Nicole Wallace. She was the fake Republican at one point.
Yes, she was.
Yes.
And she had this to say, quote, I hope, and this is talking about little DJ, I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer, but I hope he never has to defend the U.S. Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. What the hell is that?
It's someone who should lose her job.
Who says that?
Idiots who are. You know what she's going for? We're talking about her. That's why.
Well, she should be resign or get fired. She's a total disgrace.
Well, they need somebody on these shows because they're running out of people to keep firing everyone.
So his people in the boxes and all that was great, but the speech was too as well. And I loved it when he brought up the Doge and what they've done.
Oh my God,
he
that was
just
amazing.
hammered it.
Yep.
All those different issues.
And he laid him
What
out.
about the mice?
Oh yeah, the mice on making them transgender.
No, transgender studies.
Right. They were studying mice
for transgender issues. Yes.
How?
$8 million is how.
Okay, $8 million. Okay, now my little mind is wondering, how did they know the mice did or did not were transgender? Did they like put little dresses on them? Not. What do you do?
We won't go into it. Essentially, though, it was connected to transgender ideology.
They're mice.
The different types of experiments they were running. Yes. That's all I can say.
I'm picturing them literally taking little male mice and giving them like little dresses.
Well, out of all the ones he
I
hammered
have no
out,
idea.
one I came across this morning was a VA contract
Okay.
for $56,000.
A decent salary for a
A
year.
company was watering 8 plants
8 plants.
in a VA facility. And granted, it was a 5-year contract. But Doge has canceled it and has promised to water those plants for free.
Wow, way to go. There's a lot of that.
I mean, I don't have a green thumb at all, and I usually kill plants. But there's no way I would spend $56,000 to have someone water my plants.
I mean, let me ask this is a hypothetical question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know it was the VA, right? Okay, so this person didn't need clearances or anything.
No.
The reason I say that is because if they were, for example, in the Pentagon,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going into top secret locations
Mm-hmm.
to water the plants, that at least might make a little sense because you yourself would have to be, for example, I've actually worked with people who are not the janitorial staff, but the cleaning staff. They make over $100,000 in the Pentagon. The cleaning staff,
Mm-hmm.
the people who take the waste paper baskets and empty them and clean down the tables and stuff, they make because they have a top secret clearance. So that's the only thing I could possibly. But it's the VA.
No.
Yeah.
Like I said,
No.
Doge will water them for free.
Good.
So after the debacle of Tuesday night for the Democrats,
Mm-hmm.
they did come out with something the next day, which was very comical. Arden, can you elaborate?
Okay, so they were on TikTok, and a few years ago, I didn't know about this. There was some weird fad called Choose Your Hero, and you literally would enter some funny little statistics about yourself, and then you do like pretending to be like an action figure of a video game, like a boxer. So you're like swaying side to side, and they had a bunch of women, Democrat women, do it. It was so embarrassing. It was so bad. Late night comedians were making fun of it, who themselves are Democrat. They were like, "This is embarrassing." It was a fad from 3 years ago, and they're just now doing it. Please, everyone. I thought it was a joke at first, and then I showed Abigail, and Abigail thought it was a joke. They didn't know it was actually real. It's that poor and fake and sad. This is how they think they're. Who are they trying to attract? Like,
I don't know.
choose your hero.
Yeah.
Look, I know that. And they're bouncing around. They have the older ladies bouncing around. It just.
They can't compete. I mean, Trump's YMCA dance rules.
And that's spontaneous. It's silly. It was fun, but they're trying. I don't know who they're trying to connect to. Maybe the white man for Waltz or whatever. White boys for Waltz. I don't know. But you saw Waltz is thinking about running for president.
No way.
Yeah, that was in the news the other day. He's thinking about making a run.
Go for it.
Yes, please.
I'll take it.
Please.
J.D. Vance will sail right into the White House.
I mean, that could be the first 50 state sweep.
It could be.
It could be. Even Washington, D.C. may vote for him. I mean, everyone. Every single state would vote. I mean, Canada will vote for Trump over
You
this.
think Bernie will try? I think he's going to be too old.
He always tries.
Yeah.
Well, he might as well. That's how he makes his money.
Yeah.
Somehow going off topic here, but I loved when Bernie Sanders switched from, "Oh, we got the text of millionaires and the billionaires. Oh shit, I'm a millionaire. Okay, we're only going to the billionaires have to pay their fair share." Once he became a millionaire, he stopped saying millionaires.
He's just a radical lube.
Yep. But the rest of that speech, I mean, the tariffs, I mean, he explained it. Like, he just went into one thing. After the Ukraine, he explained it. I mean,
And he ended it with the golden age. I mean,
he
it was
won.
poetic.
I mean, he really does. He wasn't saying we must do this to screw the other guy. Like, it was all about putting America first, building up everyone, not one group, one class, everyone, making government smaller. By the way, that's how you know he's not a fascist. A fascist wants full government control. He wants to get rid of
He's
government.
unraveling the
Right,
government.
exactly. He's the exact opposite. I mean, people should love him for that, and I think they are. I mean, he's had his highest approval ratings for him, and people are just saying, wow, this guy is doing what he says, and he's trying to make it relatable as well.
It's I have to say, I mean, when you think about the transitions from president to president, this is the biggest black versus white I've ever seen.
Right.
Biden was a
Just
total
disaster.
flop.
Right.
And you compare it to Trump, there's just no comparison.
I mean, you can't, like, when Carter was elected, he beat Ford, who was never elected, and he had, as bad as Carter was, Carter at least tried. It just didn't work, and everything he did failed. But at least you could say the guy was a good man. Joe Biden was a sleazeball, and he got away with it. He was in Congress. I mean, he was not even in control. His staff was. And
I mean, you know, there's more and more coming out, but we already know.
yeah.
He was not the president of the United States. People were propping him up and doing the work behind his back.
Right, well, because he didn't care. I mean, he was on vacation way too much, if that makes sense. Trump is on vacation a lot, but then again,
He's working his ass off
Right.
Monday through Friday.
right, and on the weekends he's working.
Yeah, I mean, they give him crap because he plays golf, but he's amazing. How old is he?
What? He's in his 80s.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, or late. Let's say he's not going to be as old. He will be older than Biden, I think.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, I got the hiccups here. I apologize. One last thing that came out today before we go further, the whole Bitcoin thing. So he wants a Bitcoin reserve. If anyone in our audience really understands Bitcoin and to try to explain how we could have a reserve currency of Bitcoin, I just need someone to explain it to me because I don't understand it. So I'm fascinated by it. I want them to do a Doge of Fort Knox and go from there. I'm going to grab a little sip of my non-basement seltzer water. Yes, because I already had like 5 cups of coffee today. So Abigail needs to talk for a few seconds.
Just a few, because it's time for burning questions.
Burning Ask Abigail. All right. I got to put on the old spectacles here because I'm old here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Here we go. Question number 1. In the media, what topic are you tired of hearing about in the media?
What topic in the media?
Or just what topic in general are you just tired of hearing of?
I don't know.
I mean, for example, I was tired of everyone talking about DEI and everyone talking about transgenderism and everyone talking blah, blah, blah. It's a good one, right?
No, I like watching the news and TV.
I know. That's why I wanted to ask if there was anything that you're just tired of listening about. Anything that you think, okay, they need to stop this.
No, because we're winning, and that means the news is in our favor. So I don't have an answer for that.
Oh, okay.
How about that, folks?
All right. Here's the next question. What is the weirdest thing about you?
The weirdest thing about me is I am dating Arden.
That's a good answer. I have a weird mother. Last one. What is your biggest fantasy?
My biggest fantasy.
I mean, we all know how my mind works. So what is your is yours like, oh my God, my number 2 pencil is a number 3 pencil? Like, what's your biggest fantasy?
My biggest fantasy is that I retire wealthy and I don't have to worry about anything.
No, but that's going to be a reality. That's not a fantasy.
Oh, well, it's a fantasy for me right now.
See, I would think your biggest fantasy would be that you become the first woman president because of this podcast. All right. I think we need Trump to get in here again.
Trump orb.
Trump orb. Okay, what's going on? Hold on, I got to take him out of his case. Okay. He's been sitting in there all week.
Well,
Abigail has 2 questions, and she hates doing the questions.
Arden has been bitching and moaning about his Rangers. So, Trump orb.
Oh,
Will Arden's Rangers win the Stanley Cup?
oh, if he says yes, I'll be. Notice that she didn't put a date on there. So, Trump orb.
I would say maybe.
Oh, perfect answer, Trump orb. All right. I have to go now. Trump orb. Magical Trump orb. Would you ever bring in TikTok influencers to make videos for you?
I have no idea.
Ah, wow, kind of down the middle. He doesn't want. He's worried about having to choose his own fighter right there. All right,
Okay,
Abigail, what you got?
Well, everyone remember tomorrow or tonight is daylight savings time.
Ah, shit.
So we're going to spring forward. One thing I learned last week, though, was that the Monday after daylight savings occurs in the spring
Okay.
is National Nap Day.
Nice.
As in taking a nap with the doggies.
Nice.
Well, Arden knows that I love to take naps, but my question to the Trump orb is, will Arden take a nap on Monday?
A National Nap Day. All right, let's find out. Will I take a nap?
100%.
I might need it.
You never take naps. I'm going to be so happy if you do.
I took a little nap today before Mr. N reached out to me. So there was a question. I know it's actually not in our script, but about some fires in New York State. That Kathy Hochul has a state of emergency. And I was actually talking to Alfred about it earlier today. And I did not know where it was, but it was actually on Long Island, which is part of New York State.
Right.
But it's Long Island. And have you ever been on Long Island?
Yes.
Well, it's interesting state. You know, it's got like your 2 different types of people. It's got your like wealthy, like fisherman type people. I mean, sorry, your regular working class white people. White people. Hello, racist. Working class, blue collar, fishing type people. Then it has your uber rich people.
Mm-hmm.
So now, with that, if it gets really bad, we're going to see a huge contrast between Trump and Biden on if it got really bad. Like if all of a sudden those $1 million homes start going up in fire, or if the fishing vessels start catching fire.
I don't follow what you're saying at all. Can you clarify
Well,
that?
kind of like the wildfires in
Yes.
California.
Yes.
So, you know how it was completely botched?
Yes.
Well, now we got, because Biden was running it. So now we have Trump running the could be fires in New York.
Oh.
So let's see how he handles it.
I see now what you're saying.
Now, if the rich people, lose their houses, then they'll just have a concert probably for them.
Yeah.
You know.
You're really bitter about that.
I
concert.
am. That really been. I mean, there was one. I did find out later there was a small country festival, but nothing like the one in California.
How about what happened to Columbia University on the Bernard campus? It's an outrage. They've taken over buildings.
Which gets me fired up. But before that, something just popped into my head. Did you see Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, complaining about his the house he was renting burned down in California? So he can't face a lawsuit or anything because he ain't got no more money. Oh, interesting. His father's out of a job. He has no money.
Huh.
Anyway, okay, so the bastards in Colombia. Okay.
Well, all I know is I heard that Trump basically said you're not going to get federal money.
$400 million. And they want to boot out, and I say they. I'm being a little open because it's a whole bunch of Republican conservatives, but it's people in the government, people outside, pundits and everything else. They want all of these, if they are on student visas, to be kicked out of the country. What is going on in Colombia? These aren't peaceful protests. These are insane people. These, the people who do it just for fun or for just to be popular or just because they need a cause. That's one thing. But there's some serious effed up people in there.
They are threatening other students.
Right. Like, and this isn't like, hey, you know, women's rights, anything like that. These are people who are on the bad side. Hamas is not good. You know, I mean, like, there's nothing good about Hamas. I mean, what's the difference between Hamas and Nazis?
I don't know.
Probably money. That's probably the only thing. I mean, they are evil. They kill people. I mean, the Nazis killed Jews. The Hamas kills Jews. Nazis killed Christians and everyone else. They do too. They kill everyone. They are evil people. If you don't get along with them, you know what? I'm waiting for like Israel to just take them out again. I'm getting fired up again. I mean, this is disgusting.
It is. But just remember, Trump is president.
Yes, but there's still evil in the world. I mean, Reagan was president. He was able to deal with Russia, but this is a little different. Mm-hmm. I mean, Iran is nuts. Iran is trying to give all their money, and I know he's trying to take care of it. He wants peace, and they've never dealt with someone like Trump because Trump can get peace by doing the right things.
You know what I predict? I predict peace will be settled in Russia and Ukraine by the end of this month.
Wow. You've heard it here. End of the month.
End of the month.
And you know, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. And isn't a lamb one of the symbols of peace?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Look at me. I am knowledgeable. All right. Well, I got to find some music. You got anything else going on?
No. I mean, this is a big week coming up. Like I said, everything Trump touches is gold so far, and we got to root out those evil students.
We do got to root them out. I'm trying to find, hold on, I got to put my spectacles on. Really fast here. And if you're in the Teaneck, New Jersey area, feel free to try to find the brick of the Lego brick. And also, please reach out to us because we would love to hear from our people. And that's at Crotchety Old Man on Twitter, at Crotchety Old Men at Twitter. Also, feel free to reach out to us on, you can just send us an email at wearecrotchetyoldmen@gmail.com, wearecrotchetyoldmen@gmail.com. I am going to play something that Abigail was yelling at me. She was getting a little tired of listening to. A little Ludwig von Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata with a little twist to it. So Abigail always makes fun of me because she says I'm not a fan of women in sports and in anything else. And I follow Women Who Rock. So this is a young lady. She's only 14 years old. She's playing Beethoven on a guitar. That's pretty impressive. And then I have a whole bunch of other young kids playing some Iron Maiden, but she wouldn't let me play that earlier. The one kid is like 7 and she's playing Iron Maiden. Anyway, people, we are Crotchety Old Man
and a woman.
Thank you and have a wonderful week.